Back in September 2025, Elaine and I headed out for our summer holiday on the Isle of Wight, so I recorded some footage while we were there to share with you on my Retro Steve IRL channel. I've heavily edited this down to keep it watchable, but you'll get to see bits of our ferry journey across the Solent, parts of the places we've visited, including some fun moments from the amusement arcades, and a few unexpected and unintentional funny moments here and there. We had a bit of time to kill before arriving at the holiday cottage, so we stopped off at Ryde, which is about 5 minutes away from the ferry port in Fishbourne, and if you look closely you can see a rainbow there in the distance, which makes sense as this clip was recorded shortly after we'd been hit with a massive downpour of rain. The weather forecast was mostly awful all week, but there were a few breaks in the forecast, so we tried to plan around this. As such, on our first full day we went to the Donkey Sanctuary in the morning, then on to Godshill in the afternoon, to try and catch the drier weather. The Isle of Wight has a rich history with donkeys, which you can read about on the sanctuary's website. The sanctuary was started in 1987 by a local postman and has expanded over the years. They've been accepting abandoned and rescued donkeys ever since, and they're now a public attraction with picnic areas, a cafe and a gift shop. You can find their website in the video description, along with links to any other relevant sites for the places that we're visiting in this video. What do I have? Mocha. And you've had...
I've just had a big mug of tea.
Big mug of tea. Best drink in the world.
Yes.
What do you say in the adverts? Tea. Best drink of the day. Say, that's great. So what do I say?
What do donkeys say?
Look at these ears, look.
Ah, lovely ears.
As I already mentioned, we spent the afternoon in Godshill, which is a small picturesque village just south of the centre of the Isle of Wight. We mainly came here to see the model village, but along the main street you'll come across various gift shops, coffee shops, tea rooms, pubs and restaurants. We stopped off at one of the pubs for lunch, which you'll get to see shortly, although we were so enamoured with the amazing food, I forgot to film it, so you'll get to see part of what we had, and of course the footage of the beautifully crafted model village, which includes a superb miniature railway, which is without a doubt my favourite feature amongst all the tiny little houses, streets and waterways. Day 3 was the Sunday, and we spent the entire day at Shanklin, which is most famously known for Shanklin Chine, which we've just briefly seen in miniature at the Godshill Model Village. The Chine is a steep, winding pathway that leads from the seafront to the main village on the clifftop, offering stunning views and features to admire along the way. We have walked the Chine before, and it requires a fair amount of energy to navigate, so we decided against it today and adjourned to the village by car after exploring the seafront, which has all the attractions you'd expect from a seaside town: arcades, coffee shops, mini-golf, an adventure playground, and of course the beach itself. It's just a shame that the weather didn't allow for a proper beach day.
That's it.
No? Yeah, go on then, yeah. After the seafront, we parked up near the Shanklin High Street and explored the shops, and although we didn't get it on film, we did stop at the donut shack across the road there for a cheeky coffee break. It was pubs, tea rooms and gift shops galore, which is right up our street, no pun intended, and a bit further up this street there was one of those antique shop market type places which is shared by multiple sellers, offering items of variable vintages for discerning retro hunters. We started having a look round, but left fairly promptly after the guy who was in charge of the shop started having a go at another one of the customers for touching a cabinet. It was all a bit awkward and we didn't feel comfortable sticking around, so there's no footage of the second half of the shop. However, I did have a look around before filming, and it was mainly just jewellery and pottery. Let's have a look. Can you pull those forwards for me? Beefeater. There's Jack Daniels on back there as well.
Trying to see the price. I can't read that.
I think that's got a price on it, has it?
I can't make it out if it.
We spent the Monday at Arreton Barns, which is a lovely little oldie-worldy shopping precinct with a traditional English pub called the Dairyman's Daughter, a duck pond, various independent artisanal shop units, and the highlight for me, a penny arcade with some really early examples of arcade machines that you can play for only 10p a go. Most of this day's footage is of the arcade, and you'll get to see us failing at those games, but I've also included a shot of the pub's beautiful interior, our duck feeding adventures, and a couple of the shop interiors, including the Glassworks. You get XOO. There it is, visible.
What you end up being wildly passionate about.
I reckon you do this.
Not necessarily.
Oh no!
Basically.
Let's see what I can do. See in this floor. Bring the ball out. Okay.
Like the old-fashioned form of the thing. Yeah, I think I've got to get a cherry in there.
I think it's deceptively difficult. It looks easier than it is. One more go. This will be the last go. I've got to do it this time. It's easy up until, relatively easy up until that last slot.
Is that kind of press button?
Glad this doesn't affect my real driving skills.
I think you both have to do one at each, like, race.
No.
No? Okay, try again.
Oh,
Ah, straight over the top.
that's my fault.
I've got one orange and a lemon. I feel like a lemon putting money into these things. Okay. Plum and 2 bells. We've got one 10p left. What would you like to play on?
Do you want to play it into this?
You want to play it on this? Yeah, go for it. See if you can win something.
No.
Difficult.
That's a lemon.
Nothing much changed. Oh, you got 2 10p's out. What was that for?
I don't know.
We got a cherry, a plum, and a lemon. No,
Shouldn't have got money for that, but
no idea. What did you get? 20p?
yeah,
What are you going to do? Play something else?
perhaps we should.
Okay. Hey duckies. Oh, they're going for that. It's funny, they weren't interested in the fish food.
No, they obviously know that's not.
There don't seem to be any fish. So. One of the places you almost have to visit on the Isle of Wight is the Needles at Alum Bay, and we've been here a couple of times before and had a great day out. Today, however, was a bit of an unexpected letdown as many of the attractions were inexplicably closed, even though the place was teeming with people. The Ring a Bell Wishing Well, one of my favourite spots, was dried up and blocked off with a strategically placed bench for some reason. We did stop for a cuppa at Marconi's tea room though, and enjoyed the vintage audio related decor before having a wander around to see what else was open. The Sand Shop attraction, the 4D cinema, the gift shop, glass shop and arcade were all open, but the food vendors, the chairlift, the kiddie rides, the information centre and the dinosaur mini-golf were all closed. We also had some issues with a couple of out-of-control dogs while we were here too, unfortunately, which kind of tipped the balance from salvageable day out to why did we bother coming, but we did manage to fit in a short hike down the hillside underneath the chairlift to go and get a look at the famous needles before making good our escape. One thing we did have in our favour was our good old National Trust memberships, which we put to good use before heading back to the holiday home. We stopped off at Mottistone Gardens for the afternoon for a spot of lunch and a wander around the gardens. Where's the tea room? Yes. You are here. Where's the tea room? We need a cup of tea. We've had quite the challenging day. Don't even ask. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll stop filming now and we'll see if we can find a tea room on foot. So we got cream teas, which is, oh look at those scones. Yeah, ready for this. We got tea, scones, jam, cream. What's not to like? Oh, I thought that was lemons. Is it lemons? It's apples, I think. There she is. Oh, I see pumpkins. There's a pumpkin patch. I think we got either raspberries here, I think. And then I don't know if that's a pumpkin patch or just a pumpkin lying on the floor. Let's have a look. Ah, yes. That is that pumpkin patch, do you think? Yes, you can see them growing, unless it's either that or they've been dumped there. Don't they usually grow out in fields? We also had a quick look around Mottistone House and the second-hand bookshop in there, and I was delighted to find an old 1970s Blue Peter annual for only £1, which I'll probably feature in one of those What's Inside retrospectives videos at some point. On the Wednesday we decided to split the day between the Busy Bee Garden Centre and Sandown Seafront. The garden centre was on the way to Sandown and we'd spotted it a few times whilst driving past, so we decided to go have a mooch and some lunch while we were there. So it's lunch at the Busy Bee Garden Centre. We've got a half hour wait for the food, which is fine, and we'll do a shot of that in a minute. But Lainey has gone for this super special indulgent. What was it? A special vanilla latte. Yes. Yes, and I've been a good boy today. I've gone for the Coke Zero. That's only because I fancied a cold drink. Yeah, so we'll get on to the food in a minute. So I went for the battered cod and chips, and it turns out we get a bit of a side salad with that as well. And Elaine, what have you got?
I have the all-day breakfast, 2 sausages, 3 bacon, 2 eggs, lots of chips,
I was going to say, I think there's some chips under there as well.
tomatoes and beans.
Look at those sausages. Okay, we're good.
I'm ready.
Let's get on with it before it starts getting cold. Heading over to Sandown, and again it wasn't really beach weather, in fact it was super windy that day, so we decided to give the mini golf a miss and took a stroll along the seafront to see what the town had to offer. It was a little sad in places, with quite a few burned out derelict buildings and areas that had been neglected and badly maintained. And as you'll see in a minute, the creative graffiti kind of betrays how some of the locals feel about the place too. Felt like a bit of a shame really, but we were able to explore the Sandown Pier and enjoy a few of the arcades there before stopping at one of the pier's coffee shops, then finishing off with a quick browse down the high street on the way back to the car park. So we go for Pluto. Yep.
Okay.
No, it doesn't like that one. Doesn't like that one. Thank you. We got that one. Almost stood him up. I'm going to go for this one here instead. Oh, miles off. What's your 10p's okay?
My 10p's
Ooh, not quite, yeah, just slightly off. Randomly, it's got Mario's voice saying thank you for some reason. The last 20p, what are we going to go for? Spider-Man? Yeah, let's try Spider-Man. Okay, let's have a look. I'll film myself this time. Alright. Oh, that was rubbish. Oh, did you win something?
Yeah.
Not sure how, but you won something.
I landed on a blue piggy, got 4p back.
4p.
Go plough it back in.
Yeah, why not? It's just his nose. The last full day of the holiday, and we popped over to Butterfly World in Ryde. One of our favourite day trip attractions happens to be the Butterfly Farm in Stratford-upon-Avon, so we really wanted to get to the Isle of Wight's version of this before the end of the holiday. As well as the wildlife attractions inside, they also have a really nice cafe, a gift shop and a small garden centre, all of which you'll get to see footage of during this segment. You'll also get to see Elaine feeding the koi carpfish during the official feeding sessions using a baby bottle on the end of a stick. Apparently this is the method they use now since COVID, not because of the viruses, but because of the widespread use of hand sanitizers. The chemicals were getting into the fish food apparently from people's hands and causing harm to the fish. The bottle feeding is quite an odd sight, but the fish do seem to have taken to it. That fella. He's a handsome chap. Yeah.
There's a treatment in the water to help them get better. Don't know if they've had an infection.
Maybe.
Now they're very clever and extremely lazy. What they'll do is they open the bottle, test them, see what comes out.
It's the Hungry Caterpillar Cafe, and it's the obligatory what did we have for lunch shop. Obviously I've started eating because I forgot to start filming. Hot dog and sausage roll and drinky, cappuccino and mocha. Not that any of you lot are interested. On the last night we decided to go for a bit of a walk down to the seafront near the house we were staying in. This alleyway here is literally at the end of the road, so the seafront isn't that far away. It's just a shame, as I said, that the weather didn't really allow for any beach days. You can just about see the sea at the end of the road down there, and if you squint you can just about see Elaine there too, waiting for me to finish filming. The beach is quite rocky and there's a lot of seaweed, but there are also some decent stretches of sand too, so it would have been good for setting up the deck chairs and chilling out on the beach, if only we'd had at least one sunny day. It's quite a nice walk along the little esplanade and fairly quiet too, as there aren't really any tourist attractions, so it's mainly just interesting looking residential seaside houses. And a bit further up the road we discovered that there was a nature reserve, and I've also included a little bit of footage of that. It's sort of a style, isn't it? And you're being watched. Let's have a look at who it's dedicated to. There we go. Oh, yes. Not sure whether the flowers are dedicated to whoever that is, or if it's someone else. That's it. That's the end of our week in, well, I mean it's Thursday night, we're going home on Friday. So there's a nice sweeping shot of the two of us having a selfie. With the sea in the background. Something like that. I need to do more practice with this sort of thing really. And with the holiday over, we packed up and headed for the ferry, and as it was at the start of the holiday, we had a couple of hours to kill before heading for the ferry port, so it was another quick stopover at Ryde Seafront. Not much to speak of here, so not a lot of filming, but we did stop at one of the Esplanade snack shacks for a cup of tea before heading off for the ferry, and as sod's law dictates, the weather was glorious of course, and it was a little galling to see people turning up on the beach with deck chairs and swimming costumes just as we were finishing off our cups of tea. We chilled out for a bit at the ferry port, and after a bit of queuing up we managed to get onto the ferry and make the most of enjoying the 40 odd minute boat trip back to the mainland.
Mr. Man to go left or right? Oh, he's over there, look.
Oh, we'll be going left.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Hello.
moving.
Unexpected. I'm surprised he's got a big dent in the back. I think I'd like that one down in the bottom right. It says not working.
Not working.
That's just nice to have a little day out on the water.
One final hurrah after we disembarked from the ferry. It was still quite early in the day, so we had a bit of lunch and explored the arcades and attractions at Clarence Pier in Portsmouth. We were out of luck with the fun fair as everything except the pirate-themed mini-golf was closed, and the lunch at Wimpy was a bust. The food was awful and there was no table service, so it was Wimpy by name only. But all the arcades were open, and we had an ice cream each to make the most of the weather. The highlight of the arcades for me was the classic pinball tables they had up and running for £1 a go. I do love a bit of pinball, so I had a couple of goes on these.
Straight down the middle. So shoot again now. Shoot another one. Yeah. Win 3, gone. Yes, I'm filming my disappointment.
And that's pretty much it, so thanks for joining us on our Isle of Wight holiday in September 2025, and I'll leave you now with a bit of dashcam footage we got on the way home of some interesting driving.
Oh, that's like, so yeah. So we want to exit here,
Yeah.
stay in lane. Hello, we got a few.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, what
Oh.
on earth? Oh my god, that was interesting.
For 1.5 miles.
Bye-bye. Dashcam.